Assistant Minister of Interior of the Republic of Burundi, Your Excellency Rajab Hassan Gamar, Ambassador of the United Republic of Tanzania in Burundi, Madam Berhai Gloris, Head of the Technical Working Group, Republic of Burundi, Mr. Sofiane Ajali, Deputy Representative in Burundi and Head of the Technical Working Group of Burundi, Madam Joanna Lison, the Deputy Representative in Tanzania, members of the Technical Working Group, distinguished members of the Technical Working Groups, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me at the outset, on behalf of my delegation, to express our profound appreciation for the warm welcome and the generosity that has been accorded to our delegation since our arrival here in the beautiful city of Bujumbura. This, as most of you will, I guess my voice is okay. It can transcend and beyond this room. Again, we want to convey our greetings and our sincere appreciation for the warm welcome and hospitality that was accorded to us since our arrival here in this beautiful city of Bujumbura. On the same note, we also wish to convey our greetings and salams from the government and people of the Republic of Tanzania. A word of special appreciation to the government of Burundi in particular for convening this meeting, which, as alluded to earlier in this same presentation, is very key to the ongoing process of repatriation. The exercise, as most of you are aware, has been very successful. On the same note, we also want to thank our colleagues and partners, the Office of the High Commissioner and other UN organizations that have worked hand to hand in making the exercise of voluntary repatriation a success. Madam Chair, Honorable Minister, members of the Technical Working Group, distinguished members of the delegations, ladies and gentlemen. The meeting of the Technical Working Group, TWG, takes place at a very critical time. It takes place 6 months down the line after our last meeting in Dar es Salaam, which saw the initiation of the initiation of the voluntary repatriation process that, as alluded to earlier, has seen over 20,000 refugees returning home in conditions of safety and dignity, and against a backlog of almost 30,000 refugees who have been registered in Tanzania but who are yet to be repatriated to their country of origin. In practical terms, what this entails means 30,000 refugees who have already indicated their willingness to return back home to Burundi have yet to be facilitated. Because of logistical and whatever sets of reasons or impediments that might have laid away, these refugees have not been able to make it to Burundi. And I think to all of us, this is not a very good thing. This is why this meeting and the subsequent recommendations of the Tripartite Commission meeting will be very critical in allowing these refugees to realize their dream of returning home after years in exile. Honorable Minister, members of the Technical Working Group, you may recall during the last meeting of the Tripartite Commission that took place on 31st this August 2017, the Tripartite Commission had agreed to undertake in phases the voluntary repatriation of 12,000 who had registered that far and who would have registered later. We all know that by 31st of December last year, at least more than 13,000 had been repatriated back to Burundi in conditions of safety and dignity. And as we meet here today for the 22nd meeting of the Technical Working Group, more than 20,000 refugees have been assisted in conditions of safety and dignity to return back to Burundi. Honorable Minister, members of the Technical Working Group, ladies and gentlemen, in order to forge a way forward, it is important to conceptualize on the practical realities that have taken place since our last meeting in Dar es Salaam last year. In order to do so, I think it is important to take stock of what has happened between last year, December, and today. One of the few things that comes out very clearly is that we have been able to repatriate over 30,000 in conditions, as alluded earlier, in conditions of safety and dignity. And as again alluded to, more than 49,000 refugees have registered to return back home. Another thing that comes out very clearly is that of all these returnees, none was able to go back to Tanzania or to seek asylum elsewhere, which justifies the fact that Burundi is a safe place to stay. And that, as alluded to in the earlier presentation, this return has been sustainable. It is also important, that to conceptualize on the fact that Burundi as a nation, as a sovereign nation, is also receiving refugees from the nearby country of DRC. If this country, which is purported not to be safe, was not safe, it will not be receiving refugees. And indeed, within the international community, there is a widespread understanding and agreement that there has been fundamental change in Burundi. The Burundi we see today is not the Burundi that we saw in April 2015. With all these practical realities that have happened in the last 6 months, it's only evidence that Burundi now is a safe place to return to. And therefore, in view of the foregoing analysis, it is the position of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, given the fundamental changes that have taken place in Burundi, and secondly, given the repatriation exercise that has henceforth been ongoing, to now call upon all parties to move to the promotion phase and to allow all refugees in Tanzania to return to their country of Burundi. This, as most of you know, will open the door for more refugees to return home, to rebuild their country, and more important, it will pave way for resource mobilizations that we critically need in terms of the reintegration process. Honorable ministers, members of the delegations, heads of delegations, members of the technical working group, as we contemplate on the promotion phase, in order to keep pace with the demands that come with this phase, we should increase the number of convoys from the current 2 to 3 convoys per week, with each convoy moving a minimum of 1,000 returnees. This number is possible. We have seen it working in the previous operations that in the previous repatriation operations that have been undertaken between our two countries. It is a number that is feasible. It will give us the opportunity at least to move the operations very fast and give the opportunity to the thousands of refugees that are still in Tanzania who have shown the willingness to come back home. Let us work together in this meeting to make this a reality. I thank you for your attention.